Introducing Tiffany & Co. Love Without Limits marketing campaign. Jeweler Tiffany & Co. is featuring a same-sex couple for the first time in its advertising history. Two men depicted in the Love Without Limits campaign are a real-life couple from Manhattan, Mark Rema and Carlin Lichtenberger. In July 2014, luxury jewelry brand Tiffany & Co. was boasting gains of 15% per quarter, and CEO Michael J. Kowalski noticed an opportunity in the lifespan of the company to focus their efforts towards marketing products to a cause. After much thought and research, the idea evolved to broaden the 178-year-old jeweler's portrayal of marriage. So the marketing highlight for Tiffany's newest campaign consists of this new, innovative launch focused on the image of equality and love to accompany the supportive tagline, Love Without Limits. The purpose guiding this innovative highlight was to get the consumer to be aware of the newest engagement ring line, Tiffany Mark, and its significance as being the first engagement ring for men exclusively on the market. Advocacy advertising demonstrates that this brand is not only up to date with socio-cultural and political trends, but also supports the non-linear road to marriage. A company spokeswoman says, "Nowadays, true love stories come in a variety of forms. As more and more states make the push to legalize gay marriage, a line of engagement rings for same-sex couples seems not only necessary to us, but increasingly imminent." In terms of the packaging and labeling for the ring, its packaging consists of the iconic Tiffany blue box, tied with a satin white ribbon bow. In all, Tiffany have successfully branded the most recognizable and desired retail container in history. This iconic Tiffany packaging resonates with viewers, as it is briefly glimpsed in a scene. Aside from this brief preview, the audience is unaware until the end of commercial that Tiffany is in fact marketing the first engagement ring for men. So whilst the audience is kept in the dark about the exact product for the majority of the mini-movie, Tiffany has, from the forefront, connected with the audience by depicting its signature little blue box. This forms the basis of building excitement for the audience, again enhancing that emotional connection with the brand and the product. So the fact that this ad campaign subtly alludes to the content of the box demonstrates a restraint in flaunting the product in favour of marketing the romanticism behind the product. Tiffany have truly used this scene to capture their audience and exploited their simple packaging as perhaps one of the world's ultimate marketing tools. Marketing is about creating value, and the way in which Tiffany has promoted its Love Without Limits campaign is through the marketing mix process. The focus of this campaign is on Tiffany as a brand and the sentiment involved in purchasing fine jewellery, particularly engagement rings. Whilst the first P in the marketing mix product is of course an engagement ring, Tiffany wants consumers to know purchasing this ring is purchasing so much more than a piece of jewellery. Tiffany replaces diamond, which is typical of an engagement ring, for a thin band of Tiffany blue steel. Accommodating to the masculine market, Tiffany impresses its consumers and competitors alike, not only through its beautiful website, flaunting its elegant physical products, but rather on its service. In a specialised, high-end market, such as fine jewellery, it is important for brands to depict the value proposition of a product. That is, that the value of a product is not necessarily the dollar value of the tangible good, but the value that which the product presents to the target market. In this case, whether the ring meets the needs of a couple for their prospect at showing their everlasting love for one another, Tiffany is marketing a value proposition to its audience that includes not only the tangible good, being an engagement ring, but the augmented product, the reputation of the Tiffany brand, and the memory of the engagement. Here, Tiffany sets itself apart from the competitors. Who can create emotion for a piece of jewellery like Tiffany can? Same-sex relationships are a modern-day concept, and Tiffany is harnessing the raw sentiment society has towards this concept through its campaign. Aligning with the societal values of our forward-thinking generation, Tiffany is proving love has no limits. In terms of the third P in this campaign, promotion for the mark ring has been broken down into two phases. The first focus on mass media advertising and teaser advertising. Tiffany spent $150 million to high-end magazines such as Vogue and Vanity Fair, printing full-page, high-gloss ads depicting a man on one knee proposing to his lover. Of course, Tiffany identified their target market as consumers likely to purchase these designer magazines. No point advertising in a large range of magazines to an audience not identified as the target market, same-sex couples with money to spend on fine jewelry. This teaser trailer garnered both interest and awareness of the revolutionary jewelry line, allowing Tiffany to test the waters in a sense about potential interest in the market for a male-only engagement ring. Based on a high rate of interest in the market, pursuant to the initial print ad campaign, Tiffany rolled out mini-movies depicting the proposal of same-sex couples. The mini-movies supplemented the initial campaign nicely. The print ad vividly depicting the tangible good in all its platinum glory, whilst the movie advertising the intangible value of the product, the sentiment, memories, and love. The mini-movie is played on billboards around large shopping districts in cities across American states where the political and legal environment warrant same-sex marriage, such as Times Square in New York, the home of Tiffany & Co. Tiffany has also utilized Instagram as an advertising platform, where ad pop-ups show snippets of the mini-movie with a link to the official Tiffany Instagram page for the full video. This ad campaign creates desire in viewers to see more of the product, as well as the desired association with the brand reputation of Tiffany & Co. With 300 million monthly active users, Tiffany has recognized Instagram as a large social networking platform with a younger generational user base with similar beliefs towards marriage equality. The tagline, "Love Without Limits," is Tiffany challenging its critics and competitors that it is a company based upon exorbitant luxury items only. Instead, spokesperson Teresa Williams says, "This marketing campaign aligns with societal priorities. The mini-movie we have broadcast in particular challenges this stereotype of gender and luxury goods. We are emotive selling by tapping into our prospects' deep-seated values and emotions." Emotive selling seems to have worked for Tiffany, with a 20% increase in sales after the launch of its Love Without Limits campaign and their engagement ring finder mobile app. The app, updated in the second half of 2015, lets users choose styles, carat weights, and take hand selfies to try on rings. A specialty product, such as an engagement ring, requires lots of effort to purchase. Tiffany has acknowledged this and provided stand-apart marketing concepts. The consumer decision-making process relates to how and why we buy. Chris Ramey, president of Affluent Insights, says, "Tiffany understands the marketing evolution as well as any company." He says they use emotive selling to neurologically connect to consumers. Tiffany calls this the selling power of emotion. The classic Tiffany piece, as we know, has a smaller target market consisting of women, and now men, with money to spend on fine jewelry. Prices range from between $145 for simple sterling silver pieces to $35,000 for diamond watches. Consumer markets are very dynamic in the fashion industry based on trends, values, the economic climate, and prices of commodities in particular. However, Tiffany's brand has maintained its market of men and women of a mid to high socio-economic status for the past 178 years. It seems brand loyalty and emotive marketing strategies separate Tiffany from competitors. In 2011, the US was in the midst of an economic crisis, with the lower earners attempting to save. However, Tiffany reported quarter sales up 20% as loyal clientele continued to liken quality with price. The luxury segment had an 11.6% increase, which suggests that luxury brands recover faster than most after a recession. It seems buying expensive items is becoming more common for those who can afford it. This signifies how Tiffany can capitalize on its luxury brand reputation, regardless of the economic climate. Tiffany have exploited the first stage in consumer decision making by identifying to their audience a social need for a men's-only engagement ring to signify advocacy for marriage equality. Now that Tiffany has proven there is a need for men to propose to their loved ones with the appropriate statement piece of jewelry, consumers are likely to do an information search to identify possible solutions to the problem. The level of involvement for an engagement ring is quite high. It is an expensive, emotional item that must be bought with care. How many times have you heard of stories of proposals going wrong because the proposee wasn't happy with the ring? Tiffany identifies the gap, then provides a solution with beautiful print ads showing a close-up of a just married couple holding hands, black and white apart from the Tiffany blue of the mark rings. The third stage in CDM is alternative evaluation. Tiffany Mark is an innovation by Tiffany that aims to set the company apart from competitors by playing an active role as ambassador for same-sex relationships. The campaign is not merely marketing engagement ring. The ad is marketing the brand's support and interest in the characteristics of society, our values and beliefs of equality, a love without limits. Tiffany's new, innovative good identified the need to acknowledge same-sex couples as a specific consumer group and has provided the Mark jewelry line accordingly. This can be defined as a continuous innovation, as the Mark line is simply a modification of an existing product, which has set Tiffany apart from its competitors by targeting a new niche market. When Tiffany selects its target market for its Love Without Limits campaign, it segments society. Tiffany has done this by creating the product to suit mid to high earning men in same-sex relationships who are looking to propose to their partner. Tiffany segments its Love Without Limits campaign by using the demographics of location, gender, and religion, as many religions don't acknowledge same-sex couples. Buying on occasions is a form of behavioral segmentation Tiffany has also identified by acknowledging the high and low seasons for proposals, engagement times, and wedding seasons, and targeting the advertising campaigns accordingly. In their recent campaign for same-sex engagement pieces, it is evident how Tiffany have employed psychographic segmentation to target people with the lifestyle and opinions supporting equal marriage. By lifestyle, Tiffany is probably targeting customers in a more urban setting, simply because that is where the stores are predominantly, as Tiffany has no stockists, all part of the luxury brand luxe and elusive reputation. Established as a luxury jewelry company, Tiffany's wide product range has the reputation of admirable and satisfactory quality, whether or not the price tag is hefty. But Tiffany's brand is worth a lot. The market is willing to pay hundreds, if not thousands more for a Tiffany product than they would for an equivalent silver product without the Tiffany logo. With an established brand reputation and a loyal customer base, it was time Tiffany focused efforts on an innovative marketing campaign. Love Without Limits is an advocacy campaign strategy. Seems to be just that.